It's a little bit crooked. Now, who cares? Some people complain if it's too crooked. Now, what the hell? You want to listen? Listen. Don't want to listen? Go to the next channel. Anyway, the Auditor General came out with a report yesterday and said something that I've been talking about for the last 2 or 3 years, but people don't give a damn. They take people with drug problems, they take people with mental issues, and what do? They put them, hey Bob, you want to talk about the PC party? So anyway, idiot Brian McDonald, anyway, bye-bye, good riddance. But the problem we're having is they talk about the prisoners have no access to mental health. Prisoners have no access to addiction. They never do. They just put them in a cell and they don't do nothing. Now let's get one thing straight here. What's his name again? I'm tired. Tyler Sweeney from Miramichi was found dead in a cell in Shediac. And then, what's her name? Is it Carol Warnock? I'll get the name right. Anyway, she died 2 years ago in the Miramichi jail, woman jail. She was begging for her life, begging that she had problems, begging for help. The security just ignored her. We got a witness, St. Mary's First Nation, seeing everything. The government, public safety, all former cops, totally are ignoring the facts that prisoners are dying. That's the way the system works here in New Brunswick. If you break the law, like riding a bicycle on the sidewalk, and then if they don't pay the fine, which usually they can't afford, what they do, they take them and they put them in jail, they cut off their medication, they ignore them, and they die, and then there's no inquiry, no inquest, no nothing. As far as I'm concerned, Denis Landry, really he should resign, because he doesn't give a rat ass about prisoners. They still laugh of prisoners, female prisoners are forced to walk home. Well, we give them a Google map, but if they can't find their way, that's their problem. Stephen Horseman was public safety. They're all former cops. I said about the issues of prisoners forced to walk home. Well, there's only a 2-hour ride. That's what Stephen Horseman said. There's only a 2-hour ride from here to Miramichi. I told him, these people have no cars, these people have no families, no nothing. That's another issue. They put them in jail. They say, well, they learned a lesson and we have to train them, you know, to be part of society. But they want to train them, but nobody could go and see them. Number one, they're too far away. And number two, they're not close to the community. And if you happen to be in St. John or Miramichi, you will have to make an appointment about a week ahead. So, public safety, as far as I'm concerned, c'est la crasse. If public safety is not there for New Brunswickers, as far as I'm concerned, and let's not forget, public safety knew about those 2 guys, 2 cops from Edmundston Police, that went after me behind the legislature. Go to Google, go to YouTube, write Edmundston Police, and you'll see the video. I could have been killed. I could have been shot because I didn't know who these people were. So as far as I'm concerned, public safety and Denis Landry, as far as I'm concerned, they're murderers. The Liberal Party are supporting murderers because there's no inquest, there's nothing done, there's no protection, and they accuse you to be a pedophile. They falsely accuse people with mental illness and people that are less fortunate or the working poor. They raid their place and they accuse them to be pedophiles. Now, if you happen to go against them, what happens? You can't afford it. You can't afford to fight for your rights. In British Columbia and in Quebec, they will pay you a lawyer to make sure that your rights are protected. Canadian rights, their Charter of Rights is very, very important to, I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to a camera. Anyway, it's very important that they be protected. That's why if you have to have a civil suit, they really are concerned that your rights will be protected, not here in New Brunswick. So is there human rights? Is there any sorts of rights here in this province? No. When you have a Liberal Party, Liberal government, and a minister that's a murderer, what can you do?